Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a pretty fascinating macro to micro journey through the world of public finance. We're going to start way up high, looking at Ohio's state legislation, and then funnel all the way down to something highly practical for all of us, paying your local property taxes. If you're a property owner, understanding this pipeline isn't just interesting, it's absolutely essential for your wallet. So how exactly does a legislative bill passed in the state capitol end up dictating the late fees on your local property tax bill? It's a great question, isn't it? I mean, are you tired of the hassle, the confusion, and all the paperwork involved in paying your property taxes? Today, we're going to connect the dots between high-level state governance and your individual property. By the end of this explainer, you'll discover how to completely streamline the process, understand exactly what you're paying for, and learn how to pay your Trumbull County property taxes online in just a few simple steps. Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to hit state budgets and agency rules, then clarify the local county roles, specifically the auditor versus the treasurer. Next, we'll break down your property tax calculation, navigate the online tax payment system, and wrap up with a really critical 2026 digital payment cutoff that you need to be ready for.
All right, Section 1, State Budgets and Agency Rules. To understand local taxes, we first need to see how the money and the rules flow down from the state level. Let's look specifically at Ohio House Bill 0094.
Just look at the sheer scale of state-level financial management here. House Bill 0094 empowers the Director of Budget and Management to shift state funds around just to cover crucial obligations. We're talking about everything from the accrued leave liability fund to state employee health and parental leave benefits. The state has to balance these massive ledgers, right? And the legal frameworks they establish ultimately trickle down and influence local financial operations.
But state bills aren't just about shuffling employee funds around. They also establish some pretty strict regulatory deterrents. Take this excerpt regarding the Accountancy Board of Ohio, for example. It shows exactly how state law directly dictates the penalties for professional standard violations.
The really crucial point here is this number, $5,000. The bill increased the maximum fine for professional standard violations from $1,000 all the way up to $5,000. Since late renewal fees could approach $1,000 on their own, that old fine just wasn't an effective deterrent anymore. This massive jump is a perfect example of how legislative changes at the state capitol create very real, very heavy financial impacts.
Okay, Section 2, County Roles, Auditor versus Treasurer. Let's shift our focus from the state capitol down to Trumbull County, Ohio, where the administration of your taxes relies on this brilliantly divided statutory framework. Understanding who actually does what is absolutely vital. First up, we have the county auditor. They act as the assessor. They're legally responsible for establishing your property's valuation, managing exemptions like the homestead credit, and conducting those mandatory general reappraisals every 6 years. Simply put, they decide the value. Then we have the county treasurer. The treasurer is the collector. They don't set your property's value. Instead, they bill you, collect the revenue twice a year in March and August, and manage the payment gateways. So if you've got a question about what you owe, call the auditor. But if you need to actually pay what you owe, you call the treasurer.
Moving on to Section 3, Understanding Property Tax Calculation. Now that we know who the key players are, let's look at how the auditor's assessments actually translate into the real math on your tax bill.
There is this huge misconception out there that reappraisals are just a sneaky way for the county to raise your taxes. That is simply not true. Ohio law requires the auditor to update property values countywide every 3 years just to reflect recent changes in the real estate market. The whole goal is fair and equal assessment across the board, not some arbitrary tax hike. Let's demystify the math here for a second. This is a sample calculation for a property on Edgewater Drive in Trumbull County. Notice how the assessed value of $65,840 stays exactly the same all the way down the column. What actually changes is the millage rate applied by different taxing authorities, like the county, the township, and the school district. Your final base tax of $4,375 isn't just one big arbitrary fee. It's literally a stack of specific local community investments.
But keep in mind, this highly calculated local process can sometimes be totally interrupted by the state. For instance, Trumbull County recently had to announce a delay in mailing out physical property tax bills because of a statewide inflation cap credit. Literally, state legislation directly impacting local billing timelines.
All right, Section 4, Navigating Online Tax Payments. Let's get highly practical. You know how the bill is calculated now, so how do you pay it efficiently?
Paying online offers incredible benefits. It's super convenient, it saves you a trip down to the administration building, and crucially, you get instant confirmation of your payment. Let's walk through exactly how to do this.
First, make sure you gather your prerequisites. You're going to need your property ID or address and your bank or card details. Step 1. Go directly to the upgraded Trumbull County property search page. Step 2. Query the system using your name, address, or parcel ID. A quick troubleshooting tip for you here. If your name search is acting up, just use the parcel ID for the most exact result. Step 3. Select your property from the list. And finally, Step 4. Scroll down to the Pay Your Taxes Online section and hit that Pay button. This securely routes you straight to the transaction interface managed by Paymentus LLC.
Now, before you click Submit, you absolutely must understand the rules of this Paymentus gateway. The county does not keep these fees. They go straight to the third-party processor. An e-check will cost you a flat $1 convenience fee, whereas using a debit or credit card will incur a 2.5% fee on your total payment. Be incredibly careful that your bank details are correct, too. If a payment bounces, you'll be hit with an $11.60 chargeback fee. On top of that, if your payment is late, you face a graduated penalty, 5% for the first 10 days, jumping to 10% after that. Finally, once your payment is successful, you'll get a digital confirmation screen. Make sure you save that as a PDF or print it immediately. It's the ultimate proof for your tax records.
And that brings us to Section 5, the 2026 Digital Payment Cutoff. We've been touting the incredible convenience of this online system, but here's a massive twist in our explainer that every single taxpayer in Trumbull County needs to know about immediately.
This quote is pulled directly from the Trumbull County Treasurer's official notice. As of the end of business day, August 31, 2026, we will not be accepting tax payments online. There's no way around it. The digital gateway we just walked through is being entirely sunset. If you rely on this system, your workflow is about to change drastically in just a matter of days.
Because this explainer is designed to be an evergreen resource for you, here are the essential fallback options you must utilize once that digital portal closes. First, traditional mail. Send a check or money order to 160 High Street Northwest. And don't worry, they honor the postmark date. Second, there's a physical 24/7 drop box located outside the side entrance of the administration building on Harmon Avenue. Just pull into the yellow zone. Third, you can still make telephone payments by dialing 1-833-339-1306. And of course, you can always pay in person Monday through Friday between 8:30 a.m. and 4 p.m.
It's a pretty fascinating look at just how reliant we've become on digital infrastructure, isn't it? As these digital conveniences vanish overnight, are you prepared to adjust your tax compliance routine? I strongly encourage you to verify your payment plans today. And as an important disclaimer, please remember that tax policies and collection methods are always subject to change, so you should verify the latest information directly with official Trumbull County resources. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and stay curious.